stopwatch. Okay? Okay, whatever.
Ever been around a wet dog? Especially when he shakes all that wet fur? Not very pleasant, is it? Kind of a negative experience. Well, in my story, the negative experience is changed to a positive one by a most unexpected character. Wet Dog by Elise Roach. He was a good old dog, and a hot old dog, as he lay in the noonday sun. And he dozed and he drozed in the beating down sun, with his long pink tongue hanging out. Well, that too hot dog in the too hot sun just had to cool off somehow. So he heaved to his feet and he sniffed the air and he trotted off down the road. Pat, 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 pat. And that's when he saw a lady washing some pans. Some piled high, sticky high pans. Wet Dog stepped in the splash and the suds to the cool flow down his fur. Then he shook and he shook with a happy dog smile, wagging his happy dog tail. Shake, 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 shake. Wet Dog! Cried the lady with the sticky high pans. Shoo! Go on now, shoo! Wet Dog smiled his sorry dog smile and wagged his sorry dog tail. Then he flapped his ears and he sniffed the air and he trotted off down the road. And that's when he saw a lady spraying some blooms, some pale pink, petal pink blooms. Wet Dog stepped in the sparkling spray and the soft mist cooled his face. Then he shook and he shook with a happy dog smile, wagging his happy dog tail. Wet Dog! Cried the lady with the petal pink blooms. Shoo! Go on now, shoo! Wet Dog smiled his sorry dog smile and wagged his sorry dog tail. Then he flapped his ears and he sniffed the air and he trotted off down the road. And that's when he saw some men singing a song, a singing loud, dancing loud song. Wet Dog stood by the creek, feeling the music rise. Then he danced right into the trickle in the muck with his big soft paws sinking in. Then he shook and he shook with a happy dog smile, wagging his happy dog tail. Wet Dog! Cried the men with the singing loud song. Shoo! Go on now, shoo! Wet Dog smiled his sorry dog smile and wagged his sorry dog tail. Then he flapped his ears and he sniffed the air and trotted off down the road. Pat, 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 pat. And that's when he came to a lake. And there by the shore, in the beating down sun, were people in fine, fancy clothes. There were ladies in curls, men in bow ties, and babies in soft, flouncy hats. Wet Dog stood by the lake, watching the crowd in the too hot sun. Then he stepped right into the shimmering cool of that too cool lake. And he splished and he splashed in the rippling waves, and he bounded back onto the shore. Oh, he was wet to the bone, so he shook and he shook. Wet Dog! Cried the people in the fine fancy clothes. Shoo! Go on now, shoo! But Wet Dog shook with his ears flying fast and his wet fur spray, spray, spraying. And the baby, just laughed. Oh, she was a fine, fancy baby in too hot clothes with the water fresh on her face. She laughed and she laughed, clapping her hands at the Wet Dog rain in the air. More! Cried the baby, arms open wide. More, dog, more! Then the people laughed too. Well, they splashed and they danced. How they splashed and they danced as the sun slid low in the sky. And they patted Wet Dog from his ears to his tail. Hooray, Wet Dog, hooray!